Okay, so I've shown you some ways to sort of decrease that storage, shown you some ways to prep your greens for later use. I'm going to talk about some ways that you can use them in different types of foods, okay? But all of this really can be summed up by just making sure that you plan ahead. And it can be a little bit of a new language, okay, absolutely. So anything that you can do to make that easier for yourself, do it. If you need to put reminders on your phone or on your calendar to use certain vegetables, certainly have your pickup as a little phone or calendar alert, because otherwise it's really easy to forget, right? Think about what recipes that you might want to use ahead of time. Now, a lot of the recipes that I'm going to talk about, or the methods I'm going to talk about here in a minute, are things that can be used for all different kinds of vegetables. So hopefully you'll get some ideas there too, okay? But also when you're planning ahead, try to use those fragile vegetables the soonest, okay? And then know which ones will store longer and use that accordingly, okay? So you may not have to use the turnips right away. And we've already gotten turnips, so those of us who are doing Elmwood, yeah, which is crazy. So try to make a rough plan of what you're going to cook each day so that you don't, run out of veggies or have too many leftovers or something like that. Okay. So those are all sort of the cooking tips, all right? The non-cooking sort of emotional health tips that I was mentioning earlier. When you are faced with kale for the 13th week in a row, try not to get cranky. I know it's hard, right? It's hard. And you want to just sort of embrace that bounty, okay? Realize how much work has gone into that kale. Talk to your farmers about it. Learn about all of the things that they've done in order to get those veggies to you in a fresh and beautiful state, okay? Some of your farms will have open farm tour days. Some of them may have already had those days. Learn as much as you can about the process that brings that basket to you, and you will appreciate those vegetables even more. Conversely, you may not get as much as you want of some things, okay? There are going to be uneven quantities. The harvest determines everything, all right? What determines the harvest? Generally the weather, okay, which we can't control as much as we would like to, all right, especially today, right? So you may not be able to get all of your produce for the summer from that CSA, okay? Particularly your staples like onions and garlic and that kind of thing. You may have to buy those from the store. Fruit. CSAs are not fruit heavy, okay? Some of us have gotten strawberries, but that's not going to happen for everybody, all right? Everyone has different things in their baskets. So know, again, that you might have to supplement with either the store or the farmer's market. You do want to be realistic about your storage space, okay? So if you're like, yeah, I can freeze everything, make sure you have a big freezer. Make sure your freezer is cleaned out from like 2 years ago, okay? If you think maybe you're going to can everything and learn how to do that, make sure you've got shelf space. Make sure you know how to do the canning, okay? I can certainly help you with some one-on-one just like tips, but County Extension has canning classes. Sign up now. They fill up pretty quickly, okay? And if you do want to preserve food for the winter in that way, either freezing or canning, talk to your farmer about getting larger quantities, and they'll be able to most likely deliver those quantities to you along with your share. Okay, so that's something that you'll want to start talking about early. Make sure you understand pickup policies with your each individual farm. Everyone is different. So if you know you're going away on vacation, let them know in advance. Some farmers will prorate and give you some money back. Most of them won't. Okay, so you're going to have to arrange with a friend or a neighbor to pick up your share. Decide if you want them to eat your strawberries or not. All right? But know what those policies are in advance so you don't have some sort of emotional interchange with your farmer. Okay? The Kentucky Harvest Calendar is something that you all have in front of you now. And the reason why I brought that today is so you all can see when things come. All right? So you're not still expecting strawberries in July. And you're wondering where the tomatoes are. Okay? So this can at least give you an idea of what to expect when. All right? And it can, again, help with that planning ahead. But your main takeaway here is being flexible. Okay? You don't have a lot of control over what you get. Okay? You're going to get foods that you know and love, and you're going to get foods that you don't. okay? But that's part of the sort of glory that is the CSA. And knowing that ahead of time can sometimes help with that emotional state, okay? Okay. Any questions about that sort of stuff? Okay, so I'm going to get to the meal ideas here. Does anyone have any sort of formulas that they already use? No? Okay. So one thing that I know you guys already know, but I'm going to just sort of put it out there, is having theme nights. All right? So maybe Meatless Monday. All right? Maybe Taco Tuesday. Okay? Maybe it's Pizza Friday. Who knows? Fun Friday? I don't know. But thinking about ways that you can at least take some of the thinking and planning out. And there are lots of things you can do with tacos, with pizza, with your crock pot, okay? And just having that sort of designation for each day of the week can be super helpful.